Hey, I'm Michael Artsis at Adorama in New York City, the New York City Superstore. Joining us is Jack Howard from Sigma. We've got the new 35mm 1.4 Sigma lens right here on a 5D Mark III from Canon. It's a phenomenal lens, and we're going to find out a lot more about it. First of all, Jack, thanks for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to be here. This lens has been people have been so excited about it since it was announced at Photokina as part of the Sigma Global Vision, so we're very happy to be here talking about it.
Let's talk a little bit about that Sigma Global Vision. It seems like things have changed a little bit at Sigma. Talk about what the direction of the company is.
The Sigma Global Vision, which was announced at Photokina this year, is a new way of thinking about the lenses. There are three lines of lenses that were announced: the contemporary, the sports, and the art. The 35mm f1.4 we're talking about here, the 35mm f1.4 DG HSM, is the first in the art line of lenses. And this is design philosophy from the design through the end use of the lenses. This lens here represents a change in the overall physical aesthetic of the Sigma lenses as of recently, including the little A badge for art. The serial number is right up here, and all the new lenses are going to include the year of manufacture on them.
The thing that's most interesting to me about it is, first of all, in playing with it, it's a beautiful lens. It shoots really, really well, but the focus is really precise, and I really like the focus ring. I think that the lens has a nice weight to it, a nice feel to it, but the focus ring is what I'm most concerned with. I know a lot of people shoot on auto these days, but for me, I shoot on manual, and I think that the focus ring is phenomenal. It has a nice feel, and I think that that will really come in handy for those people shooting video with this lens on a 5D Mark III or a Nikon D800 or some other DSLR that they're using. Another thing that jumps to mind immediately too is it's not a macro lens, but it really does have the ability to get close to objects, and it also, because it's a 1.4, has a beautiful shallow depth of field if that's what you want.
It really is a joy to shoot with. I was so excited when this sample right here arrived, and they said go out and shoot with it. I was like, yes, it's finally here. After reading about it, after discussing it, after working on the marketing for it, to be able to go out and shoot with this. My first light shots, I was so excited. This lens, like you said, it focuses very, very close, but the maximum magnification is 1 to 5.2. So it's not a true macro, but it does allow you to get very, very close to a subject while still showing a lot of the background, which is going to be really cool for wedding photographers, for landscape photographers, for just for people to explore their vision. That f1.4 maximum aperture gives, especially when close focus, just a razor thin slice of super sharp focus with gorgeously defocused backgrounds.
I think it renders the colors well as well. And a lot of people talk about how much the sensor plays into that, but the lens really plays into the colors and the sharpness of the image and the image quality in general. So, I mean, how much engineering went into this lens?
A whole lot of engineering, absolutely, absolutely. And very interestingly, as part of the Sigma Global Vision, every single lens, not samples of lenses or statistical sampling, but every single unit is going to be tested on the A1 MTF testing at our Aizu factory in Japan.
I know that there are a lot of great features to this lens, but it's very easily upgradable, and there's ways to program it for the user.
Yes, absolutely. You're talking about the USB dock and Sigma Optimization Pro, which is very, very cool innovation that's also been announced at the Sigma Global Vision. So, with this lens, and every lens in the Sigma Global Vision line, it's going to marry to a USB dock, which is basically a rear lens cap with electronic connections. It's going to plug into your computer and marry to the Sigma Optimization Pro software, which is going to allow you to do your own firmware upgrades, your own microfocus adjustments, adjust autofocus speed, and on lenses with focus limiters, you're going to be able to fine-tune the focus limiting distances. And it's a very, very cool thing.
I think what's great about that is when you talk to photographers who have been photographers for years, they always talk about investing in the glass, and that the bodies are upgradable as far as you just buy new bodies every couple of years, but that these guys have had lenses forever. I use lenses that my grandfather had, and I love them. So the fact that you can buy a brand new lens today and almost future-proof it and have this ability to upgrade it, I think is phenomenal. That's pretty advanced and innovative. I mean, there aren't that many other lenses, if any, that really allow the user to change the settings like that. I think it's pretty amazing.
Once photographers start talking about this and seeing it's going to be very exciting.
Talk about the company itself. I think, you know, a lot of people buy the lenses and don't know much about the history of the company, so tell me a little bit about Sigma.
Well, Sigma's in its 51st year. 2012 has been a major transition year for us. Kazuto Yamaki, the son of the founder, Michihiro Yamaki, has taken over as CEO. And he is taking the company in very exciting directions, as you know, witnessed by the Sigma Global Vision and the recent product announcements. And we're going to just continue with this history of innovation and keep pushing the envelope and creating tools that are going to let photographers realize their vision.
The Sigma 35-1.4, it's a tremendous lens. You've seen the footage, you've seen the pictures. You've got to go out and get this lens. Adorama.com is the place to get it, and you can find not only this lens, but all your camera needs, including the rest of the Sigma lineup, on Adorama.com. I'm Michael Artsis in the Adorama New York City Superstore. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Jack Howard, for joining us.
Absolutely, thank you.
And check out some more videos on Adorama.com.